Be right here, Buzz TV. Fun day. I'm talking with Krzysztof of Urilia. Now, the first question, Krzysztof, is the band actually based out of here in the States, or are you just here?
We're all based out of the Los Angeles area. So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of spread around the whole LA County.
Right, right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't some of you are here, some of you are outside of the country type thing. Would you consider yourself a Hollywood band, or are you just a band based out of LA?
I wouldn't say we're a Hollywood band because, I mean, like I said, we're kind of all over LA. So, I mean, I would say we're just more of a Los Angeles-based band.
Perfect. I've just had some artists say, hey, we don't want to be known as a Hollywood band. To us, that's a kiss of death, and I do understand that because I know how oversaturated that town is. But let's get away from that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The new album. Let's talk about that. How many tracks are in this bad boy?
Well, it's our debut EP, so it was it has four full songs and then an intro track. So I guess technically 5.
If you look at the intro track is still a track, so you know how the world is. That could be the one that people love too, and play over and over. With this thing, was it a quick, easy thing to record, or was it something that you guys took some time or had some issues with? What's the story with getting an EP out?
I think for a while we were kind of experimenting with tracks, and for a while we've been talking about releasing an EP, and ever since the ending of my old band Dawn of Ashes, we had this material kind of pre-written. There's a song called Bleeding Perfection that was actually towards the end of my career with Dawn of Ashes. It was going to be a Dawn of Ashes track, but so there's a few tracks that were already written, and then we kind of just joined together and kind of wrote the other tracks. So I wouldn't say it was kind of a long process. We were just kind of strategically trying to figure out what material we were going to actually put on the EP.
Right. Now, when I listened to it, I think I got the Reverb Nation thing, which streams the album in its entirety, or the EP in its entirety, if I'm correct. That's why I asked exactly about the track stuff. And I do know about the intro. That's why, as I said, the intro is actually, quite a hip and different piece that works into everything.
Yeah.
What would you, if somehow, and it really sucks how they do this in music because they try to pigeonhole people, what would you say the band is, in a genre? I would hate to pigeonhole it because I think it fits. If you were to talk genres, you fit in actually quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
What would you call it, so to speak? Because I know it's great rock stuff, it's great metal stuff. Some could call it, more of, a little darker stuff. But me, I just call it kick-ass music.
That's a good term. I mean, the issue nowadays is there's so many fucking subgenres out there, especially in with metal. For me, I come from a background of being inspired from a lot of European metal, black metal, European melodic death metal. So I think the goal was to kind of destroy the whole subgenre thing, and kind of put in a blend of American style metal with European style, kind of put it all together, and kind of just we just generalize us as extreme metal, because within extreme metal you have so many different styles of music. So I mean,
There you go.
another thing is it just doesn't limit you from what you can do. If we want to write a pure like black metal track or a pure death metal track, it's okay because we're not we're not saying okay we're a pure black metal group or we're this and that. It's like we just write heavy tracks, and
Well,
that,
I do, because as I said, I hate how they pigeonhole bands and try to say you're in a quote unquote genre, and then you're locked into whatever this genre is. And to me, I know so many artists that are inspired from things all over the map and will do that. So it's nice to see you guys do, because as I said, I listened to the thing, and I really liked what I heard, and I go, well, you really can't say it's this or it's this or it's this, because it fits into so many different areas. So for me, it was something I really liked seeing, and I like the answer too of just being extreme metal, because that's what it is. Just
yeah, I
some
think full like genre war kind of kills it, hurts bands in a way. I mean, because there's fans who are very not so open-minded. Where they'd be like, oh, I can't listen to this because it's this style of music, and I think that's what we're trying to get away from. That anybody who listens to any style of metal can enjoy what we're releasing. You
and
know?
and I don't even look at it as enjoying metal. If you're someone whose thing is a whole different flavor, I'm the
Yeah.
kind of person. It's like food. You try something new, you never know if you're going to like it. Now, I can understand some really wild things I won't even go near. Um, but I've also tried things that I never thought I might like, just because you have to be open. And when you do that, especially with music, you find some great things. Now, mind you, musicians are a little different, because we're inspired from things across the board. And,
Yeah.
to us, talent is talent. It doesn't matter what you play. Fans, it's the same thing. As a kid growing up, I was a rock and roll guy and very close-minded, and it unfortunately took a little bit of time to, let's say, season myself and be able to open the door to really appreciate other things. So it's nice to do that. And with us, I think Urilia is one of those bands that if you're not into something like that and you open the door and listen to it, you're going to find out this is something you're definitely going to need in your playlist. Now, speaking of, if I want to purchase this, more important, when they want to purchase this, because they're going to listen to it and want it, where are they going to be able to get it right away?
I mean, so far the EP is strictly digital at the moment. It was first released on iTunes, and now it's on Spotify, Amazon, um, Google Play. I think it's basically on any sort of online retail distributor.
Perfect.
Hopefully, we'll be releasing, physical copies, but right at the moment, it's just strictly digital.
Perfect. Now, if we wanted to get it from the band's website, is there a merch store that they could just click now and get it from the band's site? Because so much easier when you're reading about a new band to go click and pick it up that way.
Yeah, we just launched our official website. Actually, I think it was like 3 days ago. So that's uriliaband.com.
Perfect.
And
I've been on it, so I've seen it, so that's why I asked
oh,
that lovely question. I just like to plug things. So if you're watching it from our free iPhone or Android app, go over to the Buzz TV site. Right down, where am I? Okay, right down there. It's going to be a link. It'll get you to their Facebook page. It'll get you to uriliaband.com. Those are the two places that you'll be able to, boom, right away get a hold of this. And again, if it's easier for you, iTunes, CD Baby, all the normal online retailers should have this thing. Um, Urilia touring. What's the prospect of seeing the band bopping around the country and or maybe outside of the country?
yeah, and since we just released the EP, we're consistently rehearsing. So I mean, um, playing shows, touring is definitely something on in the priorities of the group. It's just how we're going to do it. You know, I mean, even though we come from all these different bands, my background from being from Donbass is we're still technically, a new band. So we're just kind of starting out as a new group. So I mean, we're just trying to make sure that we do everything right, but we want to start touring as soon as possible because fans need to see the band perform, and I miss performing and being on stage, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
So
well, you know what we're gonna do? We'll make sure that when this ends, I'll send you some links, and I'll definitely give you a personal phone number. But we'll make sure you're hooked up with Metal Sanaz down there in Hollywood. I know she's doing a lot of bookings over at Loaded, Viper Room, and some other stuff. And we also have a Buzz TV team that films out of Hollywood as well. So we'll hook you up with some people, and if they could help out in any way, they'd love to and be more than happy to. And when something pops, we'll make sure we get a camera team there, because an interview's great, but it's even more fun when we could show them what we know. And that is, this is a band that you're really going to want to see. Just from hearing the music and knowing where you guys come from and how everyone, has a really nice background, we know what there is. And speaking of, we're here with you, but who else is in the band? Let's show them some love.
okay, so we have Angel Dies, who plays bass, Gray, who plays guitar, Paris, who plays guitar, on keyboards, Behemoth, and then on drums, Levi Zool, who's playing drums. So yeah, we're all, it took us at a point to get the right people to be in the group, just because, I mean, one of the strongest aspects about this band is the message that we're trying to kind of portray, because, I'm very educated on the left-hand path, and I'm trying to kind of introduce that to, the youth. That's the biggest goal of this group. And actually the band name Urilia actually, well, I actually redefined it, but it means basically destroying duality, that, we don't believe in good or evil, there's no light or darkness. It's basically, they're both extremely essential in life. So, I mean, that's the biggest goal of this group is, out of anything, is just to show or enlighten new people, fans, dark spirituality and how it can, bring you self-strength, and, you become your own deity, basically.
There you go. Now, for those of you that are kind of scratching your head possibly a little, just Google left-hand path. Real simple thing. Type it in. You'll understand everything. And again, open mind. To me, that's the most powerful thing in life. Open mind to everything. Then you pick and choose what suits you best. And you actually answered, I guess, my next question, which would have been, what might we have left out about Urilia that they need to know? And I think that would have been the answer to the question, if I'm correct with that assumption.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the album, the name, The Adversarial Light, which is the title of the EP, it's based on a book by one of the heads of the Luciferian path. His name is Michael W. Fort. He's written over 22 books on Luciferianism, and basically, for me, I'm trying to be kind of. I just became one of the ambassadors of the Greater Church of Lucifer. So I mean, right now, my biggest goal is just to educate the youth on the occult and the left-hand path, and how it's beneficial. And I think it's very misunderstood. And I think Christianity put it out to be this evil, nasty thing that's poisonous, and it's not. It's something that helps the weak become stronger.
Well, it's funny because myself, I'm not someone that's a big believer, especially in organized religion, just because I see the foibles in it, and I look myself in it as more of it's about power and corruption and money and some other fucked up shit
Yeah.
versus whatever it's supposed to be. And to me, whatever you want to believe in across the board, it should be because it works for you, not because it scares you into that or throws something at you. Well, if you don't do this, this is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
To me, that's not something that's good for you. That's just, you know, preying on your fears. And if you do that, how are you helping anyone? But that's just my personal belief. So, and I definitely don't like trying to shove my personal stuff in anyone's face. But again, I always look at it as if you keep an open mind and you look at anything in life with that open mind, you pick and choose what works for you. And if you do that, you generally are in a good place. You know what works for you. You know what doesn't work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean you make fun of it. It means, hey, you just don't like cottage cheese. Like I don't like cottage cheese. If you like it, good for you. I think the shit's nasty. But again, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. So
Yeah.
I understand it, and I'm open to it. And it's funny because I have a great many friends that definitely follow the left-hand path. They're the coolest people in the world.
Yeah, I
So
mean, that's like the thing is that, you know, I'm not trying to force this belief system down anybody's throat. I'm just giving another open door, you know. In America, mostly, I mean, majority of everyone grows up to be a Christian or a Catholic or, Hebrew or whatnot. And, you know, it's like all of these other forms of spirituality, you know, has been so misunderstood. And, you know, if it's something that can benefit someone, and, you know, especially a lot of kids, you know, especially, like, you know, you're on Facebook, you can see it all the time that, you know, a lot of the youth is really lost and they thrive on their insecurities. And it's like, if there's a way to bring some sort of power and strength to these kids that need it, instead of them feeling like they're kind of hopeless or, you know, that,
oh, you're right. As I said, you know, they do that. They prey on your fears and your insecurity and make you, you know, and beat you into this weird stuff. I mean, quick story. I was doing some stuff. I was in the army at one time. Yeah, that's weird shit. We won't. Long story, did whatever. But to get off base for a day, had to take a field trip to some weird southern Baptist. I don't know what it was, but it was that one religion where it's like fire and brimstone, and they just try to scare the hell out of you. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just going, really? They're not pushing any religion. They're more pushing fear, so much fear down your throat. And I had to sit there and go, this can't be right. Um, so I understand where you're coming from, and it's nice that there's someone like you out there that's showing people that, hey, here's a path, it's a door. If it works for you, great. Especially that it's not one of those that it's you better do this and you have to do that. You're just opening the door to someone. Now, you know, and that's a good thing because, again, there's so many different things that work for so many different people, and it's nice that you're able to do that.
yeah, especially, I mean, even with someone who just, you know, enjoys the music and doesn't agree with, you know, the path that, you know, I'm trying to show others, you know, I'm not going to rule anybody out, you know, because it actually goes against my belief system to actually judge someone. So, you know, if, you know, a Christian comes in and, you know, is listening to Urilia, I mean, great, you know. But the thing is that, what was I going to say? Yeah, you know, I I just want to give it an open mind, like you're saying, an open door, and have people be open-minded by something that they probably, you know, I guess that's what I was trying to say is that kids grow up to be rebellious, and they don't know why they're rebellious, and a lot of, you know, right now everybody's like, shitting on Christianity right now, and you know, there's reasons, but a lot of kids don't really know why they don't like Christianity. They just hate it because it's a trend. So it'd be nice to educate them, you know, this is why this religion is corrupted. you know.
Exactly, and it's great that you're able to open that door because how many people generally could find that and they can't. Doing a weird internet search might not always find you the right answer. So it's cool that there's people like you out there, and then on top of it, there's a band with some great music. So you're getting a double bang punch when you're dealing with Urilia, which is always a nice thing. Hey, quick question. Anyone in the band have a sponsorship? We want to give some sponsors some love if you have that yet.
We're currently looking. I think we're getting a few right now. I don't personally. I don't know. I like. I'm really, sometimes you don't really connect with your band fully, so I'm still trying to figure out what sponsors we have right now. So I do apologize that I don't have that information right now.
That's all good. Again, I know how that could be. If I'm not sponsored, I don't know what so and so has, and unless I specifically ask, and half the time I don't. So I know that how that goes. So let me do this. We wrap things up with most live interviews, and we started doing this on Skype with a little game we play called Roll the Bones. What that is I have a 20-sided dice. I have 20 pre-selected questions. I think 3 or 4 of them actually deal with music.
Okay.
You up for playing a quick round?
Sure.
Cool. Your number is number 11. Okay, that'll work for me. Number 11 is, what's your biggest regret?
Within the music industry or in general?
Anything in life. You could use the music industry. You could use life in general.
Um, you know, biggest regret, and I don't really like to say regret because you learn from everything that you fall on your face. You learn from it, so I don't really regret anything. But there's I've dealt with I had my nasty points in my life that I kind of regret you know
Again,
doing, but you learn from them.
that's it. Well, that's how I look at life. Mistake is what it is. It's a mistake. If you learn from it, it's really not that bad of a thing. If you're stupid and fall into the same hole over and over, well, you got to blame yourself more than the hole, because the hole's always going to be there.
Hollywood, that was like maybe that was one of my biggest regrets is I kind of got sucked into the Hollywood. I mean, lifestyle and
I lived that in the 80s. I know what that could do to you.
yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess my whole goal within my music career is different than it was years ago. So the person who I was then is not who I am now, and so it's not that I regret that person. It's just I kind of transformed into something else, and I appreciate that. So I don't know if that's a regret. So I mean that's kind of a hard word to kind of.
Maybe I might need to change the wording of that question to what's your biggest learning experience?
Yeah, yeah. There's a ton of those in my life.
Definitely. So I will do that from now on. I'll rewrite that question when we get off the air and attribute that change to you forever because I've never looked at it that way because I really don't have, I only have one regret when it comes to regrets myself, and that's definitely a learning experience as well, but my mistakes generally are. So I will definitely get my number in, and this is the lucky number 3. Now, I've gotten this number quite a bit, but I'll answer it again. First concert seen live. We'll go through the quick story. You know of this place because it's still there. I was 8. My parents took me to Magic Mountain. Mind you, I'm 52, so you could go back that far in time. And they had an act playing there. So the first concert live seen for me was Sonny and Cher.
Huh.
Again, but here's a kicker. I ended up working for Cher years later doing production on a tour. Nicest woman in the world, really is a doll. Told her that story, and she gave me a look where she kind of smiled, but I think she kind of realized, wait a second, I just dated all of us here. That's my little adventure of first concert seen live. So, I guess we've covered all the bases we need to. The most important thing, Urilia, click those links down here, get to their website, get a hold of that new EP. Eventually, the band will start hitting the road, doing some shows, getting some touring. We'll make sure that it's posted, it's up there. We keep up touch with Christoph here, and as soon as we can get a chance to shoot them, we're definitely going to shoot them. But for myself, for Christoph, for Urilia, for Buzz TV, we're out of here, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it.